Smells like wrapped in here.
Oh, it does work. I bought some muffins.
Hey, Velma, I got your caffeinoid pills.
You're a lifesaver. Hope Abigail didn't give you a hard time.
Just the usual. Any word on Braxton?
Nothing. Don't know how much longer I can cover for him either. Give me those pills, will you?
Here you go. You know, you might consider a real night's sleep instead.
All right.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry.
Who are you talking about? Catherine?
Sorry. Seems I got my cables crossed. Thought you were another shakedown tough from Fallbrook. Hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
Your chief what?
Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess.
Wow, luckily I was able to mute right when I went to sneeze. Don't you have rules for that sort of thing?
We're not keen on rules for rules' sake around here. Means Braxton skips work sometimes, but it also means no company boss is telling me when I can take a shit.
These MSI types are living the dream.
Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra drugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind?
Yeah. What's this about your foreman?
Caleb Herrick runs the autoloader operators. He thinks I don't pay them enough for flipping switches and turning dials.
So the job's easy, but you're not doing it? Something smells here. I mean, everything smells in here, but something's fishy. Wait.
He and his whole crew walked out. Say they won't come back unless I pay them more.
So pay them more. What do you...
Because we've got a budget, all right? And in case you haven't noticed, MSI doesn't exactly have a lot of spare bits on hand.
Well, I'll go talk to Caleb for you.
You mind slapping him around a little while you're at it? I'm joking. Mostly. Unless you can do it without hurting his job performance. If you can find a way to get him back to work, I'll make it worth your while. Check the yacht club. He's usually there.
Okay, well, let's talk about Caleb.
Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say.
Why can't you give him his pay increase?
I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do the same for everyone.
They're hard workers, aren't they? Don't they deserve some compensation for that?
Hard workers? They turn dials and flip switches. The machines do all the actual work.
I'll wager she don't pay those folks that maintain the mechanicals decent neither.
Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone else around here, I'll tell you that much. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate.
If I had a persuade of 134, the other subright, you'll give them more control over your business. That is true. Sanjar's gonna notice your shortfallings now. Are you willing to meet Caleb halfway?
For running me ragged while he takes an extended leave at the bar? Not on your life.
Well, Sanjar's gonna notice your shortfalls before long, and he'll hold you responsible.
Maybe so, but I bet you Caleb runs out of bits first. Then he'll have to come back. He says he's got a stash to tide his crew over. Could be he's all talk, but if the money's real, I bet you he keeps it at home. Near the diner.
You'd steal from your own people? That's low, ma'am.
That's business. Someone's got to keep the lights on.
All right.
Fine by me.
That starts Henrick's Handiwork. Caleb Henrick and the other autoloader operators are on strike until Velma gives them a raise, convince Caleb to return to work. Well, Velma, you don't seem like a good person. So, chances are... you're skimming off the top and putting the blame on other people. Oh, the vermin. Oh wait, no, that's just a default pistol, huh? Yeah, it's not unique. It's just called the vermin. That's right. Well, here's Velma's terminal. This terminal is only to be used for official work on behalf of MSI. Well, that's me. Personal files. Mash random keys or hack. Please enter the name of the employee whose files you want to receive or want to view. Oh, well, Braxton, but we've already kind of handled that. So that was pointless to hack. Messages. Involving Braxton. The fish tank the fish in tank 23A are looking a little lumpy. If you're not going to make it in, that's fine, but you have to let me know so I can stay on top of the doses. Mr. Sanjay, we really need to talk about the salt tuna situation. I've had to let 4 batches rot in the warehouse over the last 2 months because we're not finding buyers. I know the situation with the board puts us in a tough spot, but we need to start thinking about how we're going to keep Stellar Bay afloat. We can't get sales up. Why not just re-release the salt tuna back into the water? Brax, seriously, where are you? You've missed 3 shifts. This is getting ridiculous, even for you, Velma. Okay, so none of that gives us any information involving... what we're doing right now. So let's go talk to Henry. Oh, well, there's the stash. I don't want to steal from these guys if they're hard workers. If they're just lazy, then sure. But as of right now, it seems like the problem is Velma.
New face, huh? You from Offworld?
Okay, Fred Jones. He literally looks like Fred, and she's Velma. Yep, Captain Orion of the Unreliable.
A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider
Water.
it an MSI welcome. Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with us?
By the smell, he's been reveling enough for you both already.
Her face. She does not like him. What are you celebrating?
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares. Well, as long as we don't run out of bits. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking.
Okay, well, what could be so bad it made you walk off the job?
It ain't any one thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as they used to. Our supervisor, Velma, goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch, we're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay.
Okay, well, we need to talk about Velma.
Sure thing. What did you want to discuss?
Any suggestions for how to put pressure on Velma to negotiate?
If I knew that, I'd have tried it. Talking reasonably got me nowhere. Maybe you'll fare better. The others wanted to blackmail her, but we're above that. Besides, them are just rumors. We got no proof they're true.
What's this about blackmail now?
I would never endorse such an untoward tactic, but, well, there's rumors that Velma's taking a cut off the profits. So far, it's just gossip, but if there was any proof to be had, it'd be in the Saltuna warehouse, I reckon.
All right, well, she wanted to steal your money, so I think blackmailing her is the best bet.
Sure.
Velma's threatening to replace you with sublight contractors.
Nope. I'm calling her bluff. If she wants to threaten us, we'll see how she likes it when Sanjar finds out she gave Sublight even more dominion in Stellar Bay.
Sounds good.
Caleb's doing the talking.
Talk to Caleb. He speaks for all of us.
Well, all right. So I'm not gonna...
So what'd you think of the game last night? I still can't believe Armstrong ran the field from the Tuesday zone.
Yeah. Armstrong's really something. Nearly took a fella's head clean off with a tossball stick.
Yeah, well, he's a hacker. That's what they do. Rangers don't show a shred of mercy in a Darlings game. Bates got tossed out of the game for excessive sportsmanlike conduct in the third half. Serves him right.
Yeah. Felix, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what a Tuesday zone is. I don't know my tenders from my forwards. Thing is, I just don't understand tossball.
Hey, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I'll teach you all there is to know.
Great. That's just swell. Can't wait.
Well, at least someone will know, Parvati, because I still don't know what the fuck tossball is. I'm not gonna steal his money, because he's a hard-working person. But I still gotta show you how to get to it. What is this? What is this? Oh, it's a second bar. I did not look around before I started doing this.
Nicely done.
157. Oh, there's a stash. He doesn't tell me how much it is, but there's some money in there. Okay. Lunchtime? That was just so weird that they all walked in there at the same time. Mash random keys? Nothing. I need a key to get into her thing. Is there a key around here, or do I just gotta... break in?
Plenty of work to do, especially with so many no-shows.
Why is your voice so low, dude?
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Gosh, this old girl's in a rough way. Even old Bess in Edgewater was in better shape than this.
Hey, you want to try running a cannery with obsolete machinery? You be my guest.
Sorry, ma'am. I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just your flanging apparatus isn't making a strong flange, so your sealer isn't sealing right, and...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Huh. I'll have to try that. Anyway, what do you folks need? If Caleb wants...
Oh, well, I guess I could just do this. Since I can't find the key to the terminal. Or the key to the thing. Which I guess I could just break into it. It's a lie. I know you're taking a percentage off the top. What would Sanjay say if I told him?
Same thing as me. Where's your proof? Because I know no one's been poking around my terminal lately.
Wow. I'm at a loss for words.
Just as a hypothetical. Nothing to see on my terminal, of course. Because I've done nothing wrong.
All right.
Fine by me.
So now there's going to be something on the terminal that wasn't there before. Because we, talked her into outing herself. I mean, yeah, if they're not selling the tuna, stop harvesting the tuna, and that'll stop the issue of tuna. They're going to end up... It's odd that I can read that. They're going to end up like Edgewater, where they harvest it all because they can't sell any of it. And then they're going to... you're going to have no food. Don't know how this magically shows up, but Velma's personal files are a morass of supply contracts, order forms, spreadsheets, and financial records. Careful study of her financials reveals that for the past several years, she has been slowly siphoning money from her operating budget into a personal account. The theft is cleverly hidden. Individual instances could be excused as rounding errors or mistakes in simple arithmetic. The sheer volume of occurrences, however, indicates deliberate intent. So, is this a reference to Office Space? Still gotta get into that container. But the container ties into another quest, which is why I haven't bothered with it. Ah, snapped my ankles. I snapped my ankles.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts. Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate.
Well, I saw your accounts. You've been skimming money for years. You can afford to pay more.
Yeah, and did you miss the part where I'm working doubles to cover for everyone who decides not to show? I'm the one who keeps this place running. That money's mine, one way or another.
No, it's not. And also, they're not showing up because you're not paying them, with the exclusion of Braxton. If you were paying them, they would be showing up to work. That sounds remarkably like Caleb's argument.
Fine. Tell Caleb he and his team can have their raise, but I need them back here immediately. Something else on your mind?
No, that's it. But, like, her logic is dumb. I'm not paying them double because I'm working more because they're not coming to work because I'm not paying them. So I deserve the money. If she would have just paid them originally, she wouldn't be working double
So here's
shifts.
the thing about tossball. Tossball is played from the heart.
Okay, I'm with you so far. Play from the heart. Easy.
There are other schools of thought. Some say you gotta use your head to play tossball. Those people have concussions.
Oh, gosh. That sounds, really dangerous.
Tossball's a celebration of danger. Take the hacker. The hacker's job is to trample right through the enemy's defense. Best hacker in the league's a fella by the name of Take It Easy Tatum. 59 injuries to his name in 3 non-consecutive seasons.
Why do they call him Take It Easy Tatum?
Oh, that's what the mediators used to shout out every time he'd go into a bloodthirsty frenzy.
I'm learning a bit more about tossball.
Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with us?
Need to talk about Velma.
Sure thing. What did you want to discuss?
Do we tell him she was embezzling? Or we just tell him he's got the raise? You got your raise.
How'd you manage that? Wait, never mind. If I question it, it'll turn out not to be true. Besides, I never follow how you got Velma to part ways with a bit card of her own accord. Here, take this as compensation. It ain't a lot, but I hope it shows how much we appreciate all you've done. Now me and my friends here better get back to work before Velma blows a fuse.
Okay.
I don't have time for this.
And we help the cannery, which, again, her logic's so dumb. If she would have just paid them in the first place. These people are never smart, are they?